We talked about it earlier. We could all feel a slight chill at some point over the weekend. It's especially noticeable at street level.
City leaders in Bloomington took a step tonight to help the homeless population prepare for the real cold. It's an emergency declaration that drew complete support from council tonight. Taylor Fleming is joining us in the studio, and this wasn't a long vote, was it, Taylor?
No, Janice, it did not take long. After only 3 public comments and a short discussion, the council unanimously voted to allow City Manager Jeff Jurgens to waive building codes to create more indoor shelter space. Last week, Bloomington announced the planned closure of a homeless encampment in the parking lot of Eastview Christian Church near the organization's community center. The city's plan is to close this down by October 15th as they work on indoor accommodations for the dozens of people who live at this encampment. Monday, the Bloomington City Council unanimously voted to declare an emergency. By doing this, the city can increase capacity for indoor shelters, temporarily putting aside fire, electrical, and building codes to get more people inside. Mayoral candidate Dan Brady used the public comment period to suggest using the city's vacant Owen Nursery property. The other mayoral candidates in attendance did not directly address those comments, but Councilwoman Donna Boland said that people need to be housed where they will have access to necessities.
You don't want to house someone in a facility where they cannot shower. Even the people living in tents right now have been allowed to go into Home Sweet Home and Eastview to take care of some personal hygiene.
The indoor shelter requirements will be temporarily altered through executive orders from City Manager Jeff Jurgens. During this winter, the Salvation Army will serve as a warming center and increase their shelter services. Eastview Christian Church has also donated $50,000 for the cost of overnight staffing and other safety precautions.
We want to make sure, one, that it's staffed, that somebody's awake, and if there does need to be some sort of an emergency evacuation, that they are prepared for that. So we'll have the exits clear, we'll have people trained.
Now that the City Council has given the go-ahead, these new indoor shelter orders will be in effect until March 31st, 2025. Tyler?
Taylor.